Your brain decides before you do. Science confirms it. Your brain runs on autopilot 90% of the time. Every smell, sound, and sight triggers responses you've never consciously chosen. The conscious mind is just the last to know, like a driver who thinks they're steering but is actually following GPS coordinates planted years ago. Consider this. You walk into a store, and suddenly, you're drawn to a specific brand of cereal. You didn't decide to pick that one. Your brain was primed by the color scheme, the scent of the aisle, even the music playing. Every choice feels like yours, but it's all subconscious programming. The illusion of free will is just another trick. Now, imagine this. Every environment you inhabit is designed to influence you. The layout of your office, the tone of your social media feed, the layout of your home, all engineered to nudge you toward specific behaviors. You're not just living in spaces, you're being managed by them, like a fish swimming in an aquarium with invisible currents. Your financial decisions are no exception. Studies show that people spend more money in brightly lit stores, or when they're exposed to certain scents like citrus or vanilla. Even the color of your bank's logo can subtly alter your perception of trust. You think you're making rational choices, but your brain is being guided like a ship by an unseen hand. But here's the terrifying part. You're not just influenced by your surroundings, your own memories are being rewritten. Every time you revisit a place, your brain updates its neural pathways. The more you return, the more your perception of that space becomes your truth, even if it's entirely fabricated by external forces. Take a moment to think about the last time you felt an overwhelming urge to buy something. Was it truly you deciding, or was your brain responding to a carefully crafted trigger? The same goes for your relationships, your political views, even your sense of self-worth. Every interaction is a negotiation, and you're not always aware you're losing. The worst part, you can't opt out. Your subconscious doesn't ask for consent. It operates on instinct, shaped by everything from childhood conditioning to the latest viral marketing campaign. You're not just a free agent, you're a puppet. And the strings are being pulled by forces you can't even see. What if I told you that the very walls around you are whispering to you? Not literally, of course not. But every design choice, every scent, every sound is a silent command. Your brain is wired to obey. And the illusion of choice is just another layer of control. You're not in charge. Not really. But here's the kicker. You're not powerless. Understanding this is the first step to breaking free. Once you recognize the puppet strings, you can start to pull them yourself. The key is awareness. The moment you realize you're being manipulated, you regain control. Your brain isn't a prisoner. It's a strategist. And the game has just begun. So next time you find yourself drawn to a product, swayed by a political ad, or feeling an inexplicable urge to scroll endlessly, ask yourself, who's really in control? The answers might change everything. Your mind isn't a blank slate, it's a battlefield, and the war for your attention has already started. But what if the real puppet master isn't human at all? What if the algorithms, the AI, and the unseen forces are pulling the strings in ways we've only begun to understand? The game has just gotten deeper, and you're still playing. In a dimly lit laboratory, a researcher adjusts a high-tech eye-tracking device, its red laser scanning a subject's pupils. The subject, unaware, stares at a blank screen. The camera lingers on their unblinking gaze as the researcher whispers, "We're about to reveal how your mind is being tricked every single day." The screen flickers to life with a single, stark number. $1,000. The subject's breath catches. This is the first anchor, an artificial baseline that will warp their judgment forever. The researcher presses a button. The screen flashes again. But this time, the number is drastically lower. $50. The subject's eyes widen. Their body language shifts instantly. This is the perception anchor in action. The first number didn't represent money. It represented value. Now, everything feels cheaper, smaller, more disposable. The subject doesn't even realize they've been conditioned. This isn't just a lab trick. This is how corporations sell you products you don't need. That sale sign? It's not a discount. It's a psychological reset. The original price was never fair. It was designed to make the discounted price feel like a steal. You're being played, and you're not even aware of the strings pulling your decisions. In one infamous experiment, participants were asked to evaluate the quality of wine. Half were shown a cheap bottle labeled at $100. The other half saw the same wine labeled at $10. The results were staggering. The expensive wine was rated as superior, even though it was identical. Your brain doesn't judge objects. It judges context, and context is being weaponized against you. This isn't limited to wine. It's in your bank statements, your salary negotiations, even your political beliefs. The first number you hear sets the stage. It's not just about money. It's about truth. If you're told something is rare, you'll pay more for it. If you're told it's common, you'll dismiss it. Your mind is a puppet, and the strings, they're being pulled by invisible hands. Let's take a closer look at how this plays out in real life. Imagine you're at a restaurant. The menu starts with a dish priced at $50. You hesitate. Then, you see a special labeled at $30. Your brain instantly thinks, that's a steal. But here's the twist, the special isn't actually cheaper. It's the same dish, just marketed differently. You're being tricked into thinking you're getting a better deal. This isn't just about restaurants. It's in your car insurance premiums, your credit card fees, even the way you perceive your own worth. The first number you hear, whether it's a price, a salary, or a statistic, becomes the anchor. It shapes your expectations. It dictates your choices, and you're not even conscious of it. This is the perception anchor in action, and it's everywhere. Now, let's dive into the dark side of this phenomenon. In the world of high-stakes negotiations, anchors aren't just numbers, they're weapons. A real estate agent might start negotiations at a price that's absurdly high. The buyer, desperate to win, immediately thinks of a counteroffer that's still inflated. The agent knows this. They've set the anchor. And the buyer, they're just dancing to the tune. This isn't just theory. It's been tested in courtrooms, boardrooms, and even in political campaigns. Candidates will often start their speeches with an extreme claim to set a baseline. Then, their moderate positions seem reasonable by comparison. It's a psychological sleight of hand. And it works because your brain doesn't think in absolutes, thinks in anchors. And those anchors, they're being set by people who know exactly how to manipulate them. Here's the terrifying part. You're not just being manipulated by corporations or politicians. You're being manipulated by yourself. Every time you see a price, a statistic, or a headline, your brain automatically adjusts to it. It becomes your new baseline, and once it does, you're locked in. You can't see the forest for the trees. You can't hear the truth beneath the noise, because your mind has already been anchored. So how do you break free? How do you see through the anchors? The first step is awareness. The next is questioning. Every time you hear a number, ask yourself, is this real? Is this fair? Because if you don't, someone else will decide your anchors for you, and they'll do it without your consent. This is the perception anchor, and it's controlling your life right now. But the question remains, how far will they go? What other anchors are being set in your life that you don't even realize? And more importantly, what happens when you start seeing them? The truth is out there, but it's hidden behind the numbers. And the numbers, they're lying to you. Will you wake up? Or will you keep dancing to the tune? This is just the beginning. Subscribe to see more amazing content. Fire. In the quiet corners of power, a silent war unfolds, where authority figures whisper not with words, but with silence. This is how identities are dismantled. One ignored email at a time. Gaslighting begins with a single question. Did you really say that? You must be mistaken. A simple statement, but it plants the first seed of doubt. Repeat it enough times, and the soil becomes your new reality. Isolation is the second blade in this psychological arsenal. Cut off from allies, left to question every memory. What if your own mind becomes the enemy? Meet Daniel, a man who woke up one morning only to realize his entire life story was a lie. His friends called him paranoid. His family dismissed him. But the truth was far worse than he imagined. Daniel's case study reveals how easily a mind can be rewritten. The question now is, how many of us are already lost? Deep inside your brain's reward circuitry, a silent auction is happening every second. Neurons bid for attention with dopamine spikes, some predictable, most not. This is the hidden marketplace where modern life's most powerful manipulators play their highest stakes. The casinos of Las Vegas didn't invent this system, they merely perfected it. Slot machines were designed with a mathematical trick called the variable ratio schedule, where rewards appear randomly. This same principle now powers social media, shopping apps, and even your phone's notification system. Here's the terrifying part. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a jackpot and a near miss. Every time you scroll past a notification, swipe through a feed, or wait for a like, your brain calculates the odds of the next reward, and just like a gambler chasing losses, you keep pulling the lever even when you know it's rigged. Neuroscientists call this the variable dopamine trap. It's not just about addiction. It's about control. Every time you engage with a platform, algorithm, or even a colleague's praise, your brain is being trained to crave the next hit. And the more unpredictable the reward, the more addictive it becomes. This isn't limited to screens. Workplaces use it too. A manager who praises you randomly, a boss who gives feedback in unpredictable bursts. Your brain starts associating their presence with dopamine hits. Soon, you'll find yourself checking emails at midnight, just in case. The trap isn't just digital. It's everywhere. The worst part, your brain lies to you about this. When you're stuck in the trap, it convinces you that the behavior is your choice. I just love checking my phone. Your mind whispers, but the truth is far darker. You're not choosing, you're being conditioned. Imagine if every time you opened your wallet, your brain calculated the odds of a sale or discount appearing. That's exactly what happens when you shop online. Retailers don't just want you to buy. They want you to hunt for deals, chasing that unpredictable dopamine spike every time you find a limited-time offer. The same logic applies to dating apps. Swiping left or right isn't just about finding a match. It's about chasing the thrill of the next potential connection. The algorithm ensures you never know when the next perfect profile will appear, keeping you hooked like a fish on a line. Love, too, is being gamified. Even fitness apps exploit this. The streak feature doesn't just track your workouts. It triggers guilt when you miss a day. Your brain associates breaking the streak with loss, and loss triggers dopamine withdrawal. Suddenly, you're not just motivated to work out, you're terrified of stopping. The most insidious part. You don't even realize you're being manipulated. Your brain adapts to the unpredictability, making you crave it more. This is why quitting social media feels like withdrawal, because your brain has been rewired to expect the next hit. The trap isn't just outside you. It's inside you now. So how do you escape? The first step is awareness. Recognize when you're chasing the next hit. Whether it's a like, a sale, or a compliment. The second is to rewire your brain by introducing predictable, healthy rewards. But the real question is, how long have you been trapped? And what will it take to break free? But here's the kicker. The same systems that trap you are now being scaled up by artificial intelligence. Imagine an algorithm that doesn't just predict your dopamine triggers. It shapes them in real time. The next frontier isn't just manipulation. It's personalized manipulation, tailored to your deepest psychological vulnerabilities. This isn't science fiction. Companies are already testing AI-driven behavioral nudges that adjust in real time based on your emotions, location, and even biometric data. The dopamine trap isn't just getting bigger. It's getting smarter. And if you think you're in control now, wait until you see how deeply this goes. The question isn't if you'll be trapped. It's how deep the trap will go. And the scariest part, you might not even notice until it's too late. The next time you reach for your phone, ask yourself, am I choosing this, or is this choosing me? In a dimly lit laboratory, a scientist adjusts a neural interface. This is where the battle for your mind begins. Every decision you've ever made, every impulse, every hesitation, 95% of it was never truly yours. The question now is, how do we rewrite the code? Meet Daniel, a man who spent years trapped in a loop of self-doubt. His confidence eroded by whispers he couldn't place. His therapist noticed something chilling. Daniel's memories of his own voice were subtly altered, as if someone had rewritten his past. This wasn't paranoia. It was gaslighting on a cellular level. Daniel's story isn't isolated. Authorities in Silicon Valley have uncovered a pattern. High-profile executives, politicians, and even everyday citizens are being subjected to covert psychological conditioning. The goal? To ensure compliance, obedience, and silence. The tools? AI-driven micro-targeting and behavioral algorithms that learn faster than humans. The defense mechanism begins with awareness. You can't fight what you don't recognize. Start by tracking your reactions. When do you feel compelled to act without thinking? Note the triggers. A certain scent, a phrase, a visual cue. These are the anchors pulling your strings. Write them down. Observe them. Then, dismantle them one by one. Next, challenge your environment. If your phone notifications trigger anxiety, mute them. If social media feeds drain your energy, delete the apps. Create a sanctuary where your mind isn't bombarded with subliminal cues designed to manipulate. This isn't about isolation. It's about reclaiming control over your own neural landscape. But what if the manipulation is already embedded in your daily routines? What if the apps you use, the news you consume, and even the conversations you have are being fine-tuned to shape your thoughts in real time? The answer lies in understanding that every interaction is a negotiation. You're not just consuming content. You're being conditioned. The master framework starts with mindfulness. Pay attention to the moments when you feel compelled to act, when you're drawn to a screen, when you find yourself agreeing with a statement without questioning it. These are the moments when your subconscious is being hijacked. The key is to pause, question, and then choose. Your autonomy is not a given. It's something you must actively defend. Imagine a world where AI doesn't just predict your behavior, it shapes it, where algorithms don't just serve you ads, but rewrite your desires, where your most intimate thoughts are not just observed, but manipulated. This isn't science fiction. It's the next frontier of dark psychology, and it's already here. The question is, are you ready to fight back? What if the very tools designed to connect us are the same ones erasing our individuality? The lines between freedom and control are blurring faster than we can see. The choice is yours. Remain a passive observer or become the architect of your own mind. The battle for cognitive sovereignty has only just begun. Meet Alex, a former data scientist who cracked the code on behavioral manipulation. He built a system to detect and neutralize subconscious triggers in real time. His method is simple: awareness, intervention, and empowerment. But here's the catch. It requires constant vigilance. Are you willing to pay the price for your freedom? Alex's work reveals a chilling truth. The more you resist manipulation, the more aggressively you're targeted. It's a psychological arms race. The manipulators are always one step ahead, using AI to learn your weaknesses faster than you can adapt. But here's the silver lining. Every time you outsmart them, you weaken their hold. The key is persistence. Consider this: what if the ultimate defense mechanism isn't just about resisting manipulation, but about turning the tables? What if you start using the same psychological tools against those who seek to control you? Imagine a world where you're not just aware of the tricks, you're the architect of them. The power to manipulate is a double-edged sword. Who holds the blade? The next frontier of dark psychology isn't just about controlling minds. It's about creating personalized manipulation loops tailored to each individual. AI can now analyze your biometrics, your social interactions, even your dreams, to craft hyper-targeted psychological attacks. The question is no longer if this will happen, but when, and how prepared you'll be to face it. The defense mechanism isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about understanding that the battle for your mind is the ultimate battle for humanity's future. The tools of manipulation are evolving faster than our ability to resist them. The choice is clear. Will you be a victim, a warrior, or the architect of a new era of cognitive freedom? What is the dark truth behind this event? Share your theory below and watch our next investigation. Welcome. Before we begin, hit subscribe so you don't miss our daily updates. Bell Part 2 is dropping tomorrow. Subscribe for notifications. Loudspeaker.